It looks like it is the Rapid Strike box. Ooh, 2 Rapid Strike energy. Chill out. Okay. Couple Rapid Strike energy prize. They literally play everything in this deck, though. So let's see who won the coin flip. Coin flip is going to be a big deal here, unless Nico just wants to choose to go second. But I know Ty would probably want to go first, so that might just be the way it goes, to be honest.
But we are having our second round of round 4 here to go. Both these players sat on 3-0 records and trying to continue that amazing run.
No, absolutely, and you know, there's so many rounds today, and 19 match points gets you in there. And
what about VMAX? Yeah, they play like Dark Energy. What about VMAX? You have an option to want to KO Mew VMAX.
Afford to stumble a little bit towards the end when you're really, and at the end is when you are facing, everyone else who's got those amazing records. So stacking up the wins early.
All right, here we go.
We see the fist bump, we see the cards being pulled over.
We're gonna start. Okay, so Ty is going first. So set up for a Churchu. Got the Battle VIP pass. That's a Pal Pad in the hand, which isn't gonna be great, but I mean the Battle VIP pass is good. I don't know if they had an energy in hand though. They want to get that turn 1 energy attachment down. I saw a basic water. They play like everything. I saw a basic water in there, I think. Yeah, basic waters, basic darks.
These are some great cards to get down early, but already we're seeing a very decent start. The VIP pass,
so much stuff. They got everything. They got everything in here. It's the Arceus option. Starbirth turn 2, gonna be really good, of course.
So a fantastic opener here already.
You don't see an energy, but they do have like quick balls and ultra balls, it looks like, in the hand, so they can go get Crobat to try and find that energy.
I love Sylveon V for that Dream Gift ability. Sure, it ends your turn, but turn 1 when you're not allowed to attack, or any turn where you're having a bad time and you can't get anything going, why not? It's not something.
He actually gets rid of the ultra ball here. Okay. Less outs to the Arceus V-Star next turn now, unless it's already in the hand.
When you've got that as a bonus in a card you had to play anyway.
Play a fan of waves. That could be weird later on. Get some spice in here.
Getting rid of an ultra ball with that quick.
There's the Urshifu grab. I mean, G-Max Rapid Flow is really good in this matchup. Yeah, Nico's definitely playing the Urshifu deck. I wonder if Nico's playing the Eldegoss or Manaphy.
Bench protection, I believe.
Or both.
Actually, no, he isn't. So unlike some of the lists that we've seen earlier on, where there is that Manaphy, I'm not actually seeing it in Nico's list. So this could be another way that Ty can.
So no Manaphy for Nico.
No, we got Rapid Strike Urshifu.
Oh, they had the bat in hand. Okay. I wonder why they held the. They should have held the. They held the quick ball instead of the ultra ball though. That doesn't make any sense when you're gonna try and find the V-Star next turn. They did with the energy though. It looks like. That's pretty bad. They might play a Melanie though. They do play basic water, so they might play Melanie, which means they can maybe still attack next turn. I don't see a Melanie, but they could play one. Whiffing energies there actually is pretty big.
Evolution Incense has to be the strongest pick most of the time for Ty here because it gets you Arceus V-Star.
But they said there's no Manaphy for Nico.
That is completely wide open. And despite not
all right, let's see if Nico can have a good. I mean, opening Urshifu is pretty bad. The chance of you getting off a turn 1 keep calling is like pretty low. But with 2 Sobble Prize, getting off a turn 1 keep calling is not even that good for Nico, anyways.
Where you go for an energy drop with the Melanie and crack on with a turn attachment as well. So
2 double prize. Yeah, the last one was in the deck though.
Oh, we could be seeing a really nice turn. And if you look at Ty's board there, you've got a water Pokemon, a colorless Pokemon, a fighting Pokemon, and a darkness Pokemon. Really building up those different typings. Sylveon is
the whole squad.
A rainbow deck because you need that rainbow of different colors, and it's going quite well. It does mean it's awkward because if you put a second Sylveon down,
looks like no Eldegoss from.
Then all of a sudden you're taking damage off the board to do so. But when it works,
so is it no Eldegoss and no Manaphy here from Nico?
Yeah, and Nico taking his time looking through prize cards. Can't be too happy to see 2 of his Sobble in those prizes. It is the backbone of his own draw engine. So we'll see what else he can piece together this turn. Typically, keep calling is a really good end of turn play that you can go for on those openings. He may look to make a sort of strafe attack instead with the Rapid Strike Urshifu to get it out of the line of fire if he has energy in his hand. We'll see if he has any support.
Has the energy.
Well, looks like the
ooh, has the Bird Keeper. Okay, this is really good for Nico then.
A little bit better here as he can draw an additional 3 cards.
Yeah, the Bird Keeper is big. Now has the energy to use to keep calling. We'll find out if they don't already know that 2 Sobble are prized.
Indeed. The problem is,
looks like Nico took some time to check the prize. But you can get Sobble. They drew the second Urshifu as well, which feels bad. You maybe just bench that here, to be honest. Just try and set that up as soon as possible.
Then that 1 remaining Sobble, that's all you're going to have. I mean, until you start pulling off.
Doesn't bench the Urshifu, which is interesting.
Of course, there is always a one-off class.
Maybe you actually it is weak to Psychic. Maybe you just don't want that many Urshifus in play, actually, to be honest.
As long as it's available, and maybe there was also another Urshifu drawn off the Birdkeeper, I believe, and Nico chose not to.
Double Sanya looked like in that list at the end there. I think I saw. I think Nico was finding out about the prize Sobbles. The way he moved his hand there on the deck, yeah. That's pretty rough. I'm at the very least here for Ty. You can actually just knock out the Sobble with the 60 damage attack from the Sylveon, to be honest. You can just do the 60 damage here, 60 damage knockout here.
It's not why you're playing Sylveon, but it's an option.
Yeah, it can't be bad at all. And just kicking
obviously would like to go boss KO Urshifu probably, but can't have everything, so could settle for this.
We immediately see the evolution incense.
I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on in their deck, so who knows what they're gonna be able to pull off this turn. I think I saw an echoing horn in there as well. Definitely saw. Yeah, I think I see. That might have been an echoing horn. I definitely saw the fan of waves.
That's actually going to be the choice here.
There's Octo.
That might mean that we are seeing an Arceus already in the hand, and this could mean we've got a really big turn coming up. There could be
could just get the Rapid Strike energy and just hit for 60, just take the prize card, which I think was what we'll probably see here.
From the Urshifu on the bench, and that's what Octillery is going to go ahead and find and put that straight into the hand. You certainly don't want to be attaching that to your Octillery.
Yeah.
But what else can we see here? There's a Starburst. We need some switch outs.
Metacham in Ty's deck? I don't think so.
VMAX Rapid Flow at this stage of the game would be devastating for Nico, because you take out the Sobble, leave one.
Can they pull off a Gmax Rapid Flow? Oh, they might be playing the Moltres actually. They actually maybe can.
You know, we've seen these toolbox decks quite a lot already this weekend.
Let's see. Do they play the Moltres V plus E-Switch? Yeah, Gmax Rapid Flow would be pretty good. Oh, they do have the Melanie. Okay, they do have Melanie.
The game is not going to be going that well. You're not playing a lot of draw supporters. You are
They could get the Urshifu playoff, I guess.
It's going to be a very
They shouldn't have searched out the energy with the Octillery yet. Then I don't think. I think that was a mistake here from Ty, because like you should Melanie first and see if you draw into it. And then if you draw into it, then you can go find an evolution Pokemon instead. Depends what their hand is though.
Hopefully with some Bull Search. It looks like he's not going to be going for the Rapid Flow line. This is just going to be a more conservative Sylveon line by the looks of things, and just initiating the prize race if needed.
Ty doesn't need to like evolve to the VMAX here and Melanie to the VMAX. This is like a misplay from Ty if Ty actually commits to the VMAX here, because your Sylveon literally can't get knocked out, and you can just hit for 60, and that can just be your turn. So I don't like this play from Ty if Ty actually Melanie's active. Melanie active just doesn't make a whole, like, yeah, I'd rather Melanie to the Urshifu here. Or even the Arceus, to be honest. But the Urshifu is probably the best thing to Melanie to.
That's awkward, because then you discard the energy.
That's your only Rapid Strike energy, though, I think, right now.
Whereas with Sylveon, you attack. What's the next?
You just don't need the energy on the active here. We'll see what they do with it, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, they go with the Urshifu. I like that. I like that. I like that. Is that a second Crobat? They play 2 Crobats.
Yeah, and I think this is just like the guaranteed line.
Yeah, I like this a lot. You just need to do 60, yeah. Perfect.
Shot here to take a KO. Nico just
Nico's like, what?
It's a vanilla 60 damage, no other text involved.
That thing is so annoying when you, like, I've been donked by that thing. Or not donked, but like turn one had my Sobble KO. Like I go first and they go second and they just have that. It's so annoying.
From Nico's perspective, it looks like that Urshifu is being threatened.
So we'll see what Nico does from here. I think we just got to see a Gale Thrust from Nico. But that feels so bad to just give your opponent 3 prize cards like that. And then Gmax Rapid Flow just like wins the game.
Now there's a lot more options.
What else could you look for here from Nico? Like, I can't even think of like a... This just feels bad.
And we all know Octillery will get that Rapid Strike energy super easily.
I mean, I guess you... Maybe Nico should have never even set up Urshifu's and should have done Hoopas into Baby Moltres plays. I don't know. I mean, you have to go Gale Thrust into Baby Moltres from here on out, right?
Setting himself up, like these toolbox decks do, whatever Nico does, Ty is going to have an answer. So, I mean, if you're Nico here, what's the play? Because your main attacker is Urshifu, but...
Goes with the Peonia. So, yeah, looking for the Sobbles out of the prize cards, but can they also attack this turn if they do this? Like, even if you get Sobbles this turn, you're losing a Drizzile. What does that even lead to for you? And Nico's only going to hit one of the 2 Sobbles here, probably, when they go to their prize cards here.
We're not going to see any sneaky right-hand plays, no rapid flows coming in this turn. He may try and piece together some sort of Gale Thrust attack, but it's so vulnerable to the...
Yeah, they only found one of the Sobbles.
Heavily for weakness, so we'll see what he picks up now. We're looking at some options. There was at least one...
Yeah, the other one's deep in the prize cards. I don't know. I don't really love the Peonia play. I feel like maybe Nico's just waiting though for a different play. Maybe we're looking for like some kind of Yoga Loop play from here from Nico. I guess what we could see from Nico.
No, it really is isn't.
That's just hard.
Our lovely American casters were chatting.
KOing bat twice. Yeah, it might. But the thing is, Ty plays a VMAX. So if Ty can find the VMAX and VMAX it, it's not gonna happen. Or even maybe fill the bench. But yeah, maybe you have to go for some kind of snipes on the bench. I think you might be right. Yeah, you definitely just can't go for Gale Thrust here.
It is extremely difficult to actually be KO'd.
Got some upside down Drusies over there.
A little bit of extra time. I do worry, Ty's playing a 2-1 Sylveon VMAX line. It's a very thin line.
Can miss the Urshifu to play though. Is there a hit happening here?
But because you've also got the 2-1 Rapid Strike Urshifu,
I think I do see a scoop up net in the hand. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. No, there's a net.
Really nice options, and when you're not hit by the
can grab artillery here off this Evo Incense and then just go Gale Thrust. It looks like that's what Nico's going for.
Nico is going to go ahead and fire off an Evolution Incense. Looks like he's getting his own artillery developed.
And maybe just, I mean, it could be in a bad enough situation where you just hope they don't have it. Actually, the problem with that play is I don't think this deck plays Passimian. I don't think this deck plays Passimian or Sight anymore. So you can't really KO the Crobat off the bench with Sight. I'm pretty sure this deck does not play Passimian anymore. So.
They're just such easy prizes for Ty, especially when they've already got.
But you could, can you Gale Thrust into G-Max Rapid Flow KO this Sylveon? You maybe can actually on the next turn.
Gale Thrust if he can, and then just try and leave only one prize Pokemon in play for potentially some crazy swings with Galarian Moltres as his one prize attacker in the deck.
Okay.
Yeah, that might have to be the
Sobble down. Does the Urshifu hit the field? Yeah, it does. So Gale Thrust for 150 into G-Max Rapid Flow for 150 means you're 10 damage off the knockout because of the big charm. No, you're like 40 damage off the knockout because of the big charm. So I guess you can go. Okay, what you can actually do here is Nico. You can go Gale Thrust plus Gale Plus or Choice Band, and then Boss Bat, G-Max Rapid Flow, KO Bat, KO Artillery. Yeah. Okay, so this actually works out for Nico here.
To close out the game because Nico has many single prize Pokemon that he can put into play. But
this actually works out for. This can work out for Nico here.
Drawing 3 cards and giving Nico a difficult decision straight off the bat.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to give up the artillery. I feel like here. I feel like the artillery has to go. You already got the Rapid Strike energy in the hand.
Which means that even though there's only one in the deck,
goes for the Sobble. Did put 2 Drizzles back in the prize card, so. Nico does play Yoga Loop, yeah.
It's a huge hand size for Ty right now. There's no doubt that he's got at least energy in hand, and the artillery can do the rest for him. The Avery's actually a bit of an interesting one because now it gives Nico an option to scoop up net and remove some prizes from play.
We don't know. No, Nico has a belt, yeah. Nico has the belt.
Knock out this VMAX this turn, thanks to weakness, and then just have a G-Max Rapid Flow to take the final 2 prizes. This Avery now opens the door a little bit more for Nico to, do some shenanigans with some scoop up nets. But
there's the evolve.
Affects Ty as he does
150. Oh no, but you're how much HP does? No, you'd still be 10 short as Nico. You're still 10 damage short here as Nico to KO this.
Plenty to get.
Sheesh.
Prize KO here. Thanks to weakness.
Because even with the choice belt, you're doing 130, but with the big charm is so annoying here.
Why not at this point? He could grab himself a Urshifu VMAX to hand if it's not already there developed. He's actually going to grab a Fan of Waves here.
Fan of Waves doesn't make a whole ton of sense, does it? Okay, yeah. Gives up on the fan. I was like, I don't think the fan does anything.
It's a pretty safe attacker on the board right now. May as well get it developed just in case there is any other hand disruption.
So that means Ty just wins in 2 turns, right? Nico's got to go into like a 1 prizer for a turn and go from there.
Well, if you've got the
maybe just hope they don't have Boss, I guess. But it's looking bad. They don't even need Boss. They have G-Max Rapid Flow now to KO Sobble, KO Octillery. You got to net one of those out of play as well. Sheesh, man, this is bad. Nico maybe should have just given up something for the turn and waited 1 more turn before going into the Urshifus. I think Nico should have maybe chilled for a turn.
Is he able to take a Rapid Strike energy off prize cards because he's got 2 of his 3 prize and he has been able
got
to
1 of them, yep.
So
and that's it. And Nico doesn't play Marnie here. Nico does not play Marnie.
Nico is putting a really
Gale Thrust again, but Gale Thrust doesn't KO the Sylveon. So here, Nico does not have a play here. Nico literally doesn't have a play at all.
He is able to establish a VMAX.
Besides, hide behind a 1 prizer and hope that Ty doesn't have Boss. And if you net one of your 1 prize Pokemon, if you don't net one of your 1 prize Pokemon, you have to hope they don't have DT or Rapid Strike energy.
But I've just got to go back to, I mean, does Ty really care?
So it's bad.
If the Sylveon goes down.
Being Psychic and not weak to Dark, it's pretty good. And Nico has a very small hand as well, too. I don't think Nico has a ton of options.
just takes 2 prizes for the win. And that's why it's so, when you get to this stage of the game.
But it's just game 1. We'll see what happens in game 2. We'll see if Nico switches up going first or second as well.
It doesn't really matter what Nico does.
Yeah, it is funny.
The Sylveon take 3 prizes. I'm halfway to winning the game. But because Ty's got that other
Artillery? They evolved it on Remoraid.
It's too well set up.
Yeah, there's a concede. No surprise there. All right, we'll go next, see what happens.
Ty does take the lead 1-0 with, of all things, Sylveon VMAX.
And that was
there we go.
Convincing. I mean, Nico's deck is built to handle many situations, but Ty there really breezing through with the Sylveon. Such a difficult Pokemon for Rapid Strike Urshifu to get.
Yeah, that was super.
And Nico
It was just a big charm, really, because if there was no big charm, he could have got the KO. There was no big charm. Nico gets the KO with Gale Thrust. There's no second Sylveon to worry about. I guess there is the Urshifu still, so you'd have to like net your own artillery out of play. That's fine. You net that out of play. KO. Go from there. But the double Sobble prize really hurt Nico a lot. Definitely would have had way more options without that. Could have even maybe got to a quick shooting to actually get the KO. So we'll see. Is this the first time I ever missed? No.
And I think what we might have found is the counter deck.
This is the next step. There's even more Pokemon in the toolbox, and the Psychic types coming in now. It was a really great call from Ty already to be adding that into the deck. When Urshifu,
all right, game 2.
Sure really well
Marnie misplay counter on. Only 1 so far. Oh no, 2. I think Pablo should have Marnie to turn that they chose not to. Like Leafeon or any other Excel. I think just the Melanie Bandage. I didn't see a Moltres V. They do play the E-Switch, I think. I saw an E-Switch, but maybe it's just Melanie.
I mean, you've said yourself, Tord, I think you said sitting at 4-0, Gustavo sitting at 4-0. So, and Robin, I think you said is...
Robin's doing well as well, yeah. He's up there.
Oh, there is a Moltres V. Okay. They have the Moltres V.
Be honest with you, we know it's a good deck. We know they're good players.
Nico's prize cards, quick shooting's a little bit annoying. Being in the last of them, a Sobble there being there as prize is a little bit annoying. The artillery being prized for Ty could be a big deal if they only play a 1-1 artillery, but I assume they play a 2-2. I guess we'll find out.
Dark single prize Pokemon, so he basically is forced to attack with the Urshifu VMAX again this game, which is going to be a little bit awkward for him. Of course, he does play that Peonia.
Nico, I think open Sobble there.
Some of those Pokemon, but in the
that's good, but
guarantees that you're going to hit it off of just the 3 cards that you're able to see. So
we'll see.
Very awkward already for Nico in this second game, as it looks like he has opted to
appreciate that prime sub there. Little Doran into the Rat Pack. Fresh out of paintings, but we got plenty of
cards to get into the game and get some Pokemon
critters.
Yeah, I mean, didn't start the
Ultra Ball for the Sylveon. Arceus already set up as well. Ultra Ball away an Ultra Ball. So hopefully they have energy to Arceus off the rip instead of the Sylveon. So it does not really have the option for like a boss turn 2 boss KO on an Urshifu. Or not as easy. They could still have Choice Belt. But I doubt they play Zigzagoon.
2-1 Urshifu.
2-1 Sylveon.
It's a 2-2 Arceus.
Yeah, it's a 2-2 Arceus V-Star, yeah.
But it's lots of one-offs. But I think for the second game in a row, prize-wise,
the ability. I would have liked to see the attach on this Sylveon though. I think to go for a turn 2 boss KO. Turn 2 boss KO probably not happening now. So not a Sobble start. It's a small blue Pokemon, but not Sobble. It is Remoraid. So not as good of a start here for Nico. Probably might not be able to pull off a keep calling, but gonna go for it.
Access to the V-Star.
Let's see if they can get it.
Yeah, absolutely. You laid it out really well in the previous
Both
game.
players are 3-0.
There's not really any reason not to go for Evolution Incense. If Evolution Incense guarantees you the VMAX, which then guarantees you any 2 cards you want.
All right, let's see what Nico can put together here.
For a quick ball. If you really want the basic Pokemon, get it off the Arceus next turn.
Oh boy.
I do think the quick ball,
okay, now there's an Avery. I thought it was worse than that. Avery for 3. Level ball.
Ty should have that quick ball in his hand.
No nets. No net. Could retreat into the Snorlax though. Could retreat into the Snorlax. Draw some more cards.
We'll get that fixed.
Has a level ball for another Sobble. Has an Urshifu. Can put the Snorlax down. Attach, retreat. Use Snorlax or attach to the Urshifu. No net though. I didn't see a net there.
Level ball coming in for some additional basics. He's once again going to do that search. Make sure he's on top of those prize cards. It's definitely
no Passimian, no Sight.
Your deck so early on when there's so many individual one-offs to keep track of.
I wonder how many Moltres they're running right now. I think it might just still be 1 Moltres.
Back in his hand after the Dream Gift, and we can carry on as normal. But Nico can develop a second Sobble here pretty comfortably.
Yeah, getting out those
Sobble down.
Good, opening up those Drizzle for those shady dealings, potentially some Inteleon down the line as well for, well, more shady dealings, honestly. Although we do see that Nico is playing one of each of the Inteleon, both the shady dealings and the quick shooting, which is really nice. So I mean, it's really
Oh, that quick ball should be in their hand.
We do see the quick ball going back
Yeah.
into Ty's hand.
They ultra ball away, ultra ball. What's called? That's funny. I didn't see that.
I actually want that resource.
All right.
I cherry picked it myself.
Let's see what Nico goes with here. Eyeing the Snorlax, might bench it. Bench Urshifu, retreat, draw some cards. Might not put the Urshifu in play, but Urshifu seems like a reasonably safe Pokemon to put in play right now.
So important to check those prizes.
Yeah, Nico's fine with it. What energy do you get rid of here, though? Gonna get rid of the fighting over the dark, which is interesting. And then it looks like get 3 off the Gormandize. Yeah, that fighting energy discard over the dark energy is interesting. I'm curious about that choice right there, actually. There's a basic water as well. Okay, so Kent has the option of attacking with Inteleon. All right, here we go. Sylveon's out, Arceus is out. But this is what I was talking about. There's no option to boss KO the Urshifu right now, which like you would have had if you had set up the Sylveon. Those are the choice belt on Sylveon. We saw how important the big charm was in the last game. Opts for the choice belt this game. Attacking with Arceus does make it easier to set up more options for attackers later on, but I don't know. I wouldn't have hated to see. This looks really good for Ty, because Ty right here can set up the Sylveon, set up the Urshifu. If Nico goes KO your Arceus next turn, you respond Sylveon KO your Urshifu, and then you go G-Max Rapid Flow on the next turn to win the game potentially. So you have to like Nico has to play like super weird. There's a Marnie as well. That's one of the. That's just like a really good card in this matchup as well. Marnie's just really good against the Urshifu deck because it tries to like just build up its hand and hold its hand, which a lot of decks just don't play very many Marnie right now. And the ones that do have bad matchups to Urshifu by itself. So when you get Marnie, it's not as bad.
He can go ahead and fish that out now and take a big knockout.
All right, here we go. Starbirth going down. Like if Ty played, this matchup would probably be free if Ty played Manaphy, to be honest. Probably does not play the Manaphy though. It looks like that is a 2-2 or a 2. That looks like it is a 2-2 auxiliary. You can play Training Court? No, they don't play Training Court in there. Got the Ursh, got the DTE, so now they can set up the Sylveon option. They can set up the Urshifu option. They could even put energy on the Crobat if they wanted to. It's getting wild out here. All right, goodbye Lax. They'll probably put 2 energy on the Sylveon because Sylveon needs triple basic energy to attack, whereas Urshifu does need the DTE. So you'll probably see 2 on the Sylveon, 1 on the Urshifu. Let's see what they go for though. Yeah, 1 water dark on the Sylveon. Like I said, I'm still not a huge fan of that choice belt over there on the Sylveon. It's a little bit sus, but it's not that bad.
Threatening Nico's board as well. He's once again gone ahead in that prize race, which is so helpful to him. And Nico once again is on that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the records of each player. I guess one thing for sure would be nice to see.
The prize race. He doesn't have his dark attackers available to him, as you can see.
Also, that logo shouldn't be there in the middle of the prize cards. I feel like that feels weird.
Or Urshifu VMAX, neither of them feel great.
The general layout is pretty nice.
Blows this turn, so you're only giving up a 2 prize card Pokemon would be your best option here, because Ty, for all the Pokemon he is playing, he's choosing not to play a Dunsparce.
All right, let's see what Nico can put together. How hard did that Marnie hit? Has a Drizzile, so not as hard as it could have hit, it looks like.
We're going to see any Raihan and potentially some 100 Furious blows coming in this turn.
Okay.
And that's going to be, I mean, it's a start.
Yeah,
oh, maybe that's why Nico went with the fighting energy in the discard pile instead, or put the fighting energy to retreat so that you could like Raihan, Gale, like Raihan, and then get the Gale Thrust off through it, I guess.
The Sylveon over 2 turns, even with damage mods required. So
what do you even do this turn? It just feels so bad for Nico.
No, it really is. It's not what you're looking for, but then again,
the hand didn't look that good either. Sylveon is just such a snitch in this matchup. And you don't have like a Moltres that can all of a sudden like clap back and 1-hit KO it like you can against Mew. And they play more Marnie, so they're going to disrupt your hand unlike Mew as well. It feels like you're playing against Mew in this matchup against Ty, but it's not. It's like everybody against Mew VMAX, but it's just like worse.
We see the Raihan coming down here.
Yeah,
we get that.
It's tough. This is tough.
In theory, we could see
definitely seems like a tough matchup. It's hard to win the prize trade in this one as well. I think if you had more of the snipe stuff in this list, like the Passimian and the Sight, you'd have more routes that would lead to better situations, but I don't really have those in this deck anymore. So what's for the Rapid Strike energy? So you can just KO with the 100 Furious Blows. You don't have to commit to a VMAX, but even then losing 2 prize cards still feels pretty tough. But
at the very least, he can
that might set you up in a pretty decent spot, to be honest.
He also needs a few other pieces here. He probably needs to put down something like
Yeah, it's weak to metal.
Rapid Strike Urshifu.
That's what I'm saying, like, because it feels like it plays out almost like that matchup, but like the Mew matchup, like taking 1-hit KO your Urshifus, but you just can't respond.
Rapid Strike Energy, that's what I was forgetting. But he got the Octillery, got the Rapid Strike Energy. And the thing is, like, even from Nico here, you're going to take the 2 prizes. There's the scoop up net you predicted. We're in the active. We've got another Drizzle coming down, another Shady Dealings. We're going to
see what
take
this
2
dealings.
on the Arceus. Everything seems like it's going
Let's see what gets dealt from those dealings.
When that Sylveon comes into the active,
Looking for an Evolution Incense, it looks like.
You've got to think Ty is going to be able to get an energy. So at that stage, and actually he's already got at least a Rapid Strike Energy in hand. So at that stage,
I didn't even see what they grabbed there.
Protect himself from giving up too many prizes. Make sure
it was just an Evolution Incense. So like, not going to be an attack next turn from Nico unless it's from a Dark Pokemon. And they're all prized. I think the Hoopa and the Moltres are prized, which might be the only
realistically speaking is going to be,
relevant attackers or relevant Dark Pokemon to attack with after this.
Yeah, it's really tricky. And again, Nico has to be worried about not only.
So you got to get into some dark. The Moltres is like the what you want to go with here, I think.
And Ty straight away goes into his own Urshifu. I think it's going to be really scary if we see a Rapid Flow.
Ooh, yeah, Rapid Flow here is. I actually really like this from Ty. I like this a lot if Ty goes for the Urshifu. Oh, Ty's got the Peonia too, bro.
From Ty, both players are choosing to play this one-off supporter in their deck because, as you said so eloquently, there's a lot of one-offs in both players.
Yeah, I really like this. I like this Urshifu attack a lot from Ty because then it basically makes Nico's Urshifu useless unless it becomes a VMAX. Because just hitting for 150 into another Urshifu VMAX isn't very good.
He's pretty good. I think
if you KO Sobble Drizzile and then Nico has to become a VMAX, then you win the game next turn by attacking with. You win the game next turn by attacking with your Sylveon VMAX into their attacker. So I really like this play from Ty. This is a really good play here. I really like this.
And establish that probably Octillery that then can establish.
Boom, Octillery. Boom, grabs the Urshifu.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything.
Yeah, and just take away Nico's options here.
You never use the Ultra Ball to go for the Urshifu.
And now what do you do as Nico? Like you can't give them the VMAX, right? You have to hit for 150, but that feels so bad. Then that gets KO'd, and then you just lose from there. It feels like.
It's going very, very well for Ty here. We're going to see
That's it.
A double KO here. It certainly seems like this is where Ty wants to go. We're going to see a KO, presumably on the Sobble and the.
Super good play from Ty. I really like this. I didn't see this initially. Boom. Definitely should get rid of Sobble and Drizzile here. Octillery is useless. No one cares about that guy.
Shady Dealing the previous turn. This really does map out prize.
Yeah, get the Crobat back for some draw power. I like that. Oh, wanted a random prize card instead.
Of his prize cards, thanks to Peonia, and he wants to.
I don't know why we wouldn't get the Crobat back there. The Crobat back there seems way better.
A Moltres for him.
So, what is Moltres or Octillery going to do for you? Not that much. They should know their prize cards, so that might be a misplay there.
Board state is just far superior to Nico's right now.
Absolutely. And now
what can Nico even do? Nico could hope that they can't move and just hit for 150 and then try and. But how do you even reset up here from Nico?
So you need to kind of try and navigate your last 4 prizes in a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX deck without using Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX.
Pretty tricky, yes. I think you'll find that's not the easiest, especially when your engine has basically been wiped out. The Octillery is that you don't really want to see at this point. You don't really want to grab your VMAX because there's already a silver.
I definitely would like to see the Crobat take over the. I mean, like the random prize cards are bad there.
Altogether, it's threatening a easy.
I think what Ty was thinking, Ty probably looked at their hand and was like, I don't really need Crobat. I'm gonna take a random prize card. But Ty should know what their random prize cards are and know that the Crobat's better than an Octillery or a Moltres almost for sure. Unless they wanted the acceleration from the Moltres for a play. I guess it's the only thing I could think of. It's the only thing I can think of. Maybe they want the acceleration. The acceleration for the Moltres to use an E-Switch play could actually be relevant, to be honest. That's the only thing I can think of, though. If they play E-Switch. I don't know if they play E-Switch, though. We've only seen the Melody so far as, like, energy acceleration. I mean, you can accelerate more energy and play with Moltres, but I don't know if they play the E-Switch. But they probably play at least one E-Switch.
You get this in Pokemon. Sometimes you get very bad matchups, and it forces you to think, how am I going to do this? I cannot do my regular play is not.
I don't even think there's a play here from Nico. What is this? Nico has a supporter at the first card in the hand, but I think it's Boss. I think it's Boss. There's almost no reason to play the Boss, because what would you even bring up? You may as well just like punch the actor for 150, I feel like.
Hooper's prized as well. Hooper's prized, Moltres is prized. I really don't know what options he has.
Is the quick ball being played right now? I wasn't even paying attention. I think it might be a quick ball.
Try and re-establish some sort of board here, but
he only took one. No, it only showed him taking one. He took 2 prize cards though.
Whatsoever. I'm not even sure if he has a supporter in his hand. He's kind of just at the mercy of Ty here. He
They
makes
took two. We just didn't see them taking two. We just saw them taking one.
Turn, and then he's at the whim of Ty finding something like Melanie or any switch out for an easy KO.
Ty bricks, I guess, yeah.
He's really
That's basically all we got now.
Absolutely, and Ty does have a crowbar on the bench, which is
Appreciate the tier 1 sub there, Adam P. CrossFit. Home to the Rat Pack, my dude. A lot of waves. We got plenty of snails.
But then where are those last two prizes coming from? I mean,
Maybe maybe the opponent throws. I feel like that's the only play at this point.
Still got to take down one of those VMAX.
It was bad. Very bad.
Which are really in range.
And we could see Ty basically winning next turn if they can get the KO. If they get the KO with the Sylveon next turn, I think the game is pretty much over. But
really putting any pressure on either of those.
Yeah, there's the 150 hit. Hope it can't move. I think there's a switch in the hand though for Ty. We'll see. There's a switch. Do we have the energy though?
Let's see.
Sheesh, here we go. If not, the artillery can probably find the energy, to be honest.
With this Sylveon, already has a couple energies and a choice belt attached, so easily going to be getting a knockout here, thanks to the weakness, no doubt.
Is that third energy needed?
You know, I mean, this is a crazy board state.
Ooh, I don't know about the judge, though.
As well.
I guess they had a bigger hand, but...
Huge for Nico here, as again, his hand was just full of energy.
I don't know if...
for Nico to try and mount a comeback. And there's going to be a massive Sylveon staring him down. With just
I don't know about the judge there. You know, Nico didn't do very much last turn, but I guess our hand was bigger, so like Drizzle comboed with a bigger hand. Could be anything, right? So I don't hate it, but... Judge also really good in this matchup as well. I mean, any hand disruption is pretty good in this matchup. It's good against the Urshifu deck if you're not getting one KO'd.
Nico's just out of options, really. Ty's going to go down to one prize remaining. Sylveon, unlike so many other Pokemon in the format, there's no discarding energy when you attack. There's no you can't attack the following turn. Sylveon can just sit there.
Are they even going to grab here?
Those free energy. So assuming the KO comes down here, and you've got to assume
probably send out the deck a little bit. Doesn't really matter what they grab, probably. And get the Crobat off the prize cards as well at this point, just to make sure you have that. For the Queen is focused, sure.
I mean, there's no
there's nothing Nico can send up that can't get KO'd.
But I don't think at this stage there's any realistic route back to VK.
No, they're dead drawing. I mean, they're not for sure dead drawing anymore because they have the Drizzle, so they could be like one piece away from having like a pretty decent hand, right? There we go. There's the KO.
As he is going to take that 2-prize knockout, put himself just that Crobat VMAX away.
Strands the VMAX. I think the Crobat VMAX is still better than the artillery, though, right?
Prizes. We're not going to see any burst damage from the Moltres.
I think the Crobat VMAX is still better than the artillery there, though.
I'm not too certain if there is much at all this turn that you can try and do to mount a comeback. Maybe some
searches with artillery. Let's see if there's anything worth grabbing. Is there even what is the out here for Nico? If I guess if Nico has boss this turn, brings up the Urshifu and tries to trap it for a while. Yeah, okay.
He's just simply not going to get it.
But we see the energy in the hand here for Ty.
Get a KO here, really. And to be fair, you know, that Rapid Strike Urshifu is potentially gusting fodder. Gust it up, try and buy yourself a turn.
But that would, and then eventually, I guess you could hit it, and then G-Max Rapid Flow KO Artillery KO the Urshifu, right? And that's your game plan. But there we go. Nico just scoops instead, and Ty wins 2-0. That looks like a pretty good matchup for Ty.